Jackson's International Airport, the capital airport of Papua New Guinea. Directly behind me is a police Huey Bell helicopter, a relic of a bygone era. Today I'll be flying on Air Niugini on a Boeing 767 bound for Hong Kong. Having only arrived here at Port Moresby less than 30 minutes ago, and with the weather turning for the worst, it's time that I made my way off to my next destination, that being the port city of Hong Kong. Being by far the largest and most populous city in the entire country, Port Moresby is also the capital, having a population of roughly 400,000 people. I must admit that I never imagined that I would be flying in and out of Port Moresby, as every time I would bring forth the idea, I would be reminded by my own mother, who used to live here, that the crime rate is through the roof. Interestingly, up until I reached Hong Kong airport, I had no Wi-Fi, which my Gen Z self wasn't too happy about. However, nothing like my mother, who was constantly stressing. Check-in for Air Niugini is located on the far left-hand side of the building, adjacent to Qantas. There are 3 different lines: economy, business, and online check-in. As today I shall be flying economy, I of course used the economy class lane, which was surprisingly empty, though I suppose all passengers had checked in by now, and were already through security. Speaking of which, the security checkpoint is off to the right of the building and is fairly easy to find. All you have to do is head up these escalators and then turn left. Once I had cleared immigration, who gave me a very funny look as I'd only arrived yesterday, there was the usual duty-free shopping, which, due to the limited time I had here, I opted to skip. At booking, to my knowledge, all passengers are invited to buy a lounge pass, which I couldn't say no to. A single lounge entry pass costed me only 150 Papua New Guinean kina, or around 50 Australian dollars. Access to this lounge, excluding single entry passes, is limited to those with status with Air Niugini'S or Qantas's frequent flyer programs, and those flying in premium classes. There is room for up to 145 passengers. The Air Niugini Paradise Lounge is fairly moderately sized, featuring room for up to 145 passengers and a wide variety of different seating options for each passenger. I opted for my go-to seat, that being a window view, which provided the only view of the airfield overseeing the domestic apron. There is a minimal self-service buffet featuring a fairly alright selection of food, nothing like Qantas, and there is the usual hot and cold options as well as snacks, drinks, alcohol and more. For a small international airport, I was quite impressed by the food options in the lounge, which were quite flavourful. I must admit, however, the tuna sandwich was honestly not nice. My favourite was definitely the chicken and corn soup, which back in Australia is my go-to winter soup. I failed to realise whilst I was filming the food that dessert was also being served, in the form of these tiny cakes, with 3 different flavours being served. There were also chocolate biscuits being served too. There are also male and female bathrooms present, typical of a Qantas club. However, unexpectedly, this lounge does feature showers, whilst nothing grand, being a simple room, but it was still very nice to see. For those curious, towels and toiletries can be obtained from the front desk and are on a first-come, first-served basis. Eventually, my time in the lounge had come to an end as boarding was halfway done. Upon reaching the gate, I got a first look at the aircraft that'll be flying me up to China, which is a Boeing 767-300ER, registered as Papa 2 Papa X-Ray Victor. She was built at Boeing's final assembly line in Seattle, Washington in 1999, first flying for the President of the United Arab Emirates, before moving to Etihad. She was retired by the Etihad fleet and was delivered to Air Niugini in July 2010, where she has been ever since. Boarding this afternoon commenced at Gate 3. Air Niugini has 3 767s, all of which have different configurations. However, all 3 are in a 2-class layout. This particular aircraft has 28 lie-flat business class seats in a very bizarre 212 layout, which I have reviewed before, and 160 standard economy class seats in a 232 layout. For this afternoon's flight, I shall be seated in 18 Alpha. The economy class seat has 18 inches of width and 31 inches of pitch. There is a standard tray table that folds down and extends. In the seat back pocket, you'll find a safety card, magazine, and air sickness bag. Above are individual reading lights only. Awaiting at every seat is an economy class style pillow, and blankets, I learnt, are available on request. Also handed out were reusable earphones, which came in these cheap looking plastic bags. Soon we commenced our pushback from Gate 3, 14 minutes ahead of our scheduled departure time.
In the interest of your safety, we would appreciate your full attention briefly while your cabin crew point out the safety features on this Boeing 767-300 series aircraft. The center armrest. To put one on, slip your head through the opening at the top of the jacket. Pass the tape around your waist. There are 2 mouthpieces for further inflation and a light that operates on contact with water. Slide racks are located at each floor-level exit, and if required, they will be launched by the crew.
We taxied to runway 14 left via Charlie and Alpha. Now please enjoy this unedited takeoff. Once airborne, we spun around, avoiding the Port Moresby CBD, setting up a northwesterly course for Hong Kong. Flight time this afternoon is 6 hours and 8 minutes, covering a distance of 3,239 miles or 5,213 kilometers, cruising at 38,000 feet. On the back of every single economy class seat is a full audio, video, on-demand, in-flight entertainment screen with available movies, TV shows, music, and more information about the flight, with a basic moving map feature. The system was fairly advanced for this retro aircraft, which was quite the surprise. However, it's nothing major. Not long after we reached cruise, the cabin crew handed out Hong Kong's incoming arrival card. During our first turn during cruise, we flew directly over Papua in Indonesia, which is the only section of land that directly borders Papua New Guinea. Not long after this, the cabin crew sprung into action and we were served lunch. Today we had two options, a chicken and tomato pasta bake, or in my opinion the more interesting choice, a lamb curry. For side dishes we were served a cheese, olive and onion salad, which was a little bit weird, but quite nice, as well as a wholemeal bread roll, cheese and crackers, and a black forest cake, which tasted heavily of cherry and was quite delicious. The main dish came with a portion of rice, peas and 2 slices of carrot. We also had a choice of drinks, to which I asked for an orange juice. Later, we were served tea and coffee, to which I asked for a coffee, which was quite nice, but I was hesitant to drink it, due to the turbulence over West Papua. After clearing the rough air, the clouds let up, and I was able to glimpse the last piece of Indonesia that I could see. Around 3 hours later, we flew directly over the island of Sigarao, which is located in the eastern area of the Philippine island chain. On board the aircraft are 7 bathrooms, 5 for economy and 2 for business. Inside the economy class bathroom is everything you typically expect to find, including hand soap. However, surprisingly, there is also moisturizer, which was quite a nice touch. Upon exiting the bathroom, I realized there was a section of the cabin that had no passengers or crew around, giving this awesome engine view. Upon returning to my seat, we flew directly over Iba on the island of Luzon, which at the time made me slightly disappointed as I had missed the flyover of the city of Manila whilst in the bathroom. Soon we commenced our descent into Hong Kong. As the aircraft gradually fell back to Earth from cruising altitude, the sky, once grey and expansive due to cloud coverage, began to transform into a palette of warm oranges, pinks and purples. This was then followed by small islands appearing just behind the wing, and the speed brakes also being deployed. In my experience, I always tend to sit on the left-hand side of the aircraft, especially when flying into Hong Kong, as you usually get great views of Victoria Harbour on arrival, but today I got no such views. Now please enjoy this unedited landing. After landing, we taxied back to Terminal 1 via Charlie 7 Delta Foxtrot Tango Alpha Whiskey Hotel and Hotel 7 to gate Charlie 49. We pulled into the gate a staggering 20 minutes early, whilst the Cafe 777 departed behind us.
The door is open, I could walk right in.
Stepping off the aircraft and thanking the crew for the pleasant journey to my favourite city in Asia, excluding Tokyo, I was filled with excitement for the next 24 hours that would follow. Flying on board Air Niugini, specifically in their economy class cabin today, was quite the unique experience for me. To cover the whole experience, let's start from the beginning. Transferring at Port Moresby Jackson's International Airport turned out to be much easier than I originally thought it would be, despite the delay from the previous flight. The international terminal is smaller than some Australian domestic airports, with only 4 gates, of which only 3 have jet bridges, which, had this had been Heathrow or Dubai, the situation would have been a whole lot worse for me. The lounge was fairly okay. It was adequate for the short stay like the one I had today. The 767 aircraft, whilst definitely showing its age, provides reasonable comfort for the long flight with adequate legroom and in-flight entertainment, though as I said earlier, it may not be the most modern system. For a 6-hour flight, I was very happy to also get a free adjacent seat. But then again, the flight wasn't full, and nearly all window seat passengers got a free adjacent seat. The service from the cabin crew was also a very big highlight. It's not often you see a foreign cabin crew as friendly, happy and charming as the ones working on Air Niugini today. They truly seem to enjoy working on board. It's just too bad Air Niugini is not part of one of the major alliances, meaning I couldn't earn any points for today's flight, or for the previous 3. I look forward to one day flying with them again, that is if I ever choose to fly to Papua New Guinea, but in all honesty, that won't happen for quite some time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe. Make sure to check out the other videos I have on my YouTube channel, and also, I now have a Discord server. Feel free to join, link at the top of the description. And don't forget to ring that notification bell if you enjoy my content, and if you'd like to see more, I post my videos every single Friday at 8 PM Sydney time, and I hope to see you again in the next one. See you later!